for the people in your environment that are not motivated, before you just go through the firing process, you need to test into, okay, what are their goals? What motivates them? What out of these things will get them going? How can you document exactly what they're supposed to do through a job description or KPIs and start tracking those things? But then in weekly one-on-ones, be testing into, hey, you're not hitting your numbers. What about Susie? Susie is your child, or the employee's child. You figure out ways to work these different types of motivation into the conversations that you're having in order to change performance, because all of a sudden, instead of just being a business owner or somebody that is outside of the person's life, you are then responsible for helping them understand that they can use these things in the exact same way that you use these things to overcome the challenges. I had a conversation with our team yesterday where something wasn't done the way that it should have been done. And the only reason that I had the confidence to come down as hard as I came down on them is because I have had somebody come down hard on me. I have been pissed, I've been irritated, but then that person used the right type of motivation for me to not think of all of the reasons why it wasn't my fault and it was somebody else's doing and I'm so busy and blah, 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 and actually use something outside of me to get the result that they needed, which benefited the team. And at the end of it, I was very thankful for. I had so much confidence going into that. But in a team environment, you have, in this instance, there were 6 different people that were responsible for this. So in a group setting, you can hold somebody accountable because that creates the culture. You coming in, saying how it's supposed to be done, not being an ass, not being a dick in the process, but you coming into the environment and saying, this is not correct. This was the expectation. These are the ways that it didn't meet the expectation. You create that, and then individually you can one off and say, man, I thought we talked about you moving into a director position or you in a few years being the vice president of this. If you're going to be a vice president, you have to understand how to do X, Y, Z. That works with one person. With another person, what works is, hey, this other team member figured this out. And last I checked, you wanted to be the person that was up for this next thing. So if they can figure it out, how are you using that as leverage to be able to say, okay, this is what I need to do, and then add an addition to? Because the addition to is also what's going to get that person motivated, because it's competition. It's, I can at least do what my competition's doing and then do it better. So with the team, as you start to recalibrate this, because you have demonstrated that you are motivated, you know what these levers are, you've reset the environment to be able to say, hey, I am inspecting what I expect because I do that for myself first and foremost. If you don't do it for yourself first and foremost, it's a totally different conversation. But once you've done that, you're able to set that expectation. And then all of a sudden, guess what happens? You're not worried about motivating your team because they are motivated due to the environment that you've created. And then anybody who isn't motivated will self-select out.